Narayana namaskritya Narayachaiva narotamam Devam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nastapaye Swabhadresu Nitam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamas Loki Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki Vede Ramane Chaiva Purane Bharati Tata Advan Chamade Chahari Sabataki Yate Mokam Karoti Vachalan Pangu Langrate Guri Yakripataham Vande Sri Guru Dinatarine Paramananda Madhava Dhamma Prajita Katavota Paramoni Masram Satan Vedan Vastavam Atavastam Shivadon Tapatayo Molanan Shima Bhagavati Mahamuni Kritenki Va Para Ishwara Sadhyo Rudi Havarudatra Kitabita Kishanan Ningama Kapataru Galitam Phalam Sukamo Kandavasayutam Jibatna Bhaktam Pasamalaya Mohura Rasikabo Bhuvibhavuka Atoyam Brahmasutranam Bharatata Veninaya Gayati Basa Ruposho Vidata Paribhimita Sababideti Asanam Saran Saram Paribhimita Sababidantan Saraham Shi Bhakta Mishyate Tarashamita Shati Prashana Yatya Sharati Kuchit Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from the Canto 9 Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 14, text 37. This regarding the narrations of King Pururav. King Pururav was also known as Haila, who was a descendant coming from moon god Soma. So King Pururav, he has been, he was attached to oversee the heavenly damsels, even though for many, many years he enjoyed sex life with her, but he was enjoying sex life with her for as long as, because she gave a condition that if I see you naked, then I'm going to leave you. Somehow, because Indra wanted the overseer back in the heavenly planet, so a situation was created whereby overseer saw King Pururav naked, and then she left. Now, because of a deep attachment, so Pururav was, begging that please come back, please come back and enjoy with me. So now Uvasi says, since she knows the psychology of women, so she's now giving instruction to King Pururav about. Anyway, it's a very, very, very interesting instruction coming from a woman, how a man should not be so captivated by the allurement of women. So, okay, we just read text 37, is it? Text 37, right? Sriyo he akarunaha krura dumasa priya sahasaha gnanti aparte ye vishabdham patim bhrataram api uta striyo ya karuna krura dumasa priya sahasaha Grantyapate pivishabdhan Patim Brataramapyuta Striyaha woman he indeed Akarunaha merciless Kruraha cunning Dumasaha intolerant Priya Sahasa for their own pleasure they can do anything. Gnanti, they kill. Apa arte, for a slight reason. Api, indeed. Vishrabdam, faithful. Patim, husband. Bratram, brother. Api, also. Uta, it is said. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhakti-Yoga Swami Prabhupada. Women as a class are merciless and cunning. They cannot tolerate even a slight offense. For their own pleasure, they can do anything irreligious, and therefore they do not fear killing even a faithful husband or brother. Purport. King Pururav was greatly attached to Urvashi, yet, despite his faithfulness to her, she had left him. Now, considering that the king was wasting his rarely achieved human form of life, Urvashi frankly explained the nature of a woman. Because of her nature, a woman can respond to even a slight offense from her husband by not only leaving him, but even killing him if required. To say nothing of her husband, she can even kill her brother. That is a woman's nature. Therefore, in the material world, unless women are trained to be chaste and faithful to their husbands, there cannot be peace or prosperity in society. Gurave Gorichandaya, Radhikaya Tadaraye, Krishna Ya Krishna Bhaktaya Bhaktaya Namo Nama. Vanchaka Patrafesta Krivas Nivacha Paditana Pavana Vivashna Namo Nama. Shdoi Akaruna Krura, Dumasa Priya Sahasaha, Granti Apratepi Vishabdam, Patim Prataram Apyuta. Women as a class are merciless and cunning. They cannot tolerate even a slight offense. For their own pleasure, they can do anything irreligious, and therefore they do not fear killing even a faithful husband or brother. Now, one thing, of course, this Bhagavatam verse, this is not a bashing of women. So women, they should not feel that they are being bashed by Bhagavatam. No, as proper, I think some Mataji's, I think they complain to Prabhupada about some of the statements. As like Prabhupada said that if you think you're a woman, then you're a Maya, After all, we are spirits, so we are not this body. Just like in the fourth canto, we have the narrations of King Puranjana. So King Puranjana, he was a king, but at the same time, he was attached to his wife. So in the next life, he became a woman, and then he had to go through the whole process of attachment, or lamentation, and all these things, until ultimately he made the super soul. So, if we absorb the material consciousness, thinking that we are this material body, so because the soul is encased in the material body, so sometimes you're a woman and sometimes you're a man. For instance, if a man is attached to a woman, so in his next life he becomes a woman, and if a woman is attached to a man, In the next life, she become a man. It goes both ways. But however, the Krishna consciousness is not meant to prolong our stay in the material world. Krishna consciousness is meant to get out of this changing one body after the other. That's the whole, the whole thing. So we should not be, one way or the other, we should not be excited when we read many of these statements. So Urvashi herself is a woman, so she's telling Pururav that, why are you so attached to women, Don't be so attached. After all, if you really understand the nature of women, they're cunning, they're very merciless, And in other verses also, whereby she actually goes much more deeper than this. So because the word Stri means woman, Stri also indicate the materialistic, material enjoyment. Because we're in this material world, because we want to enjoy, we want to basically enjoy, like God, thinking that we are the enjoyer. So the form of a woman is the representation of Maya, and the representation of the what materialistic enjoyment indicates. So long we are attached to that form, so that period we continue to remain in the material world. But what's the reason for this attachment? This is due to ignorance. Because when the living entities in the material world, so living entity is overcome by ignorance, and it's because of that ignorance, this is the cause of the material illusion, whereby one thinks oneself, they one want to enjoy the form of material energy. So as long as that attraction is there, for that period of time we will continue to be in the material world. But here, the Urvashi, who actually belong to the heavenly planet, but somehow because of some mishap which she committed, so the two demigods, Mitra and Varuna, she was cursed, and so she has to come down here, and then she had to have the relationship with King Pururav, who was the earthly king. And because of our extreme beauty, Urvashi was exceptionally beautiful. Even her beauty, because he mentioned that the heavenly woman, the most beautiful woman in this world, in this earth, will be like a frog to them. That's how beautiful they are. Just by seeing her, Urvashi, even these two demigods, they were passing semen just by seeing her. That's how beautiful she is. But somehow, because of the cause she had, so she became attracted to King Pururav, and then she had a relationship with him. And because of her beauty, of her class, so King Pururav basically lost his intelligence. He could not even live without her, because it's so, it's just unavoidable, the way she is. But when she left him, because Indradev, he wanted Urvashi back in the heavenly planet, and at the same time, so he wanted a way by which Urvashi can come back to the heavenly planet. And Urvashi, she had given a condition to Pururav that if I see you naked at any time, then I'm going to leave you. And she had two lambs which she was keeping, just like us. She had a two pet lamb. So Indra, he sent two demigods. He sent some Gandharvas to go and create a problem for Pururav. So during the night, when Pururav and Urvashi were together, when they were enjoying themselves, so that time these Gandharvas, they came and they stole this lamb. They stole the lamb which belonged to her. So seeing this Gandharva running away with her lamb, so Urvashi, she cried out to Pururav, said that you're supposed to give protection. What kind of a man you are? Don't you see my lamb been taken away by these persons? So immediately, Pururav, he took his sword and run after these demigods. He ran without wearing any clothes because he just want to immediately go and retrieve these animals. And then, so he got the animal, and he came back. When he came back with the animals, so that time Uvasi saw him coming naked. So she became angry, and then she left him. And then, so Pururav, he was basically lamenting. He went, he was doing all he can. So anyway, this prompted this instruction that is coming from Uvasi, how a man should not be so attached to a woman. And then, of course, talking about the nature of women, the women as a class, talking about their nature. But this, the materialistic enjoyment, attraction to materialistic nature, this is the reason why we are here, one life after the other. So there is the story of the liquid beauty, which you are familiar with, liquid beauty. So there was one time, a person, he wanted to enjoy a woman. So he went to her, saying that, a very, very beautiful woman, of course. So he went to her and said that, I'd like to enjoy with you. So the woman said, okay, that's fine. So you come back in 7 days. In 7 days from now, we can enjoy together in 7 days from now. So the man was happy. The man went away. So in the meanwhile, actually the women, they can actually be gurus. They actually be great spiritual masters because they know how to cut a man's attachment, So every day, this lady, she will take laxatives every day. Since she was not eating food, she will take laxatives, and there's so much stuff will be coming out of her body. And whatever was coming out, she was preserving that in the various pots. Every day, whatever is coming, keep it taking laxatives, and whatever is coming, blood, whatever it is, all the nasty stuff coming, and then she was keeping that in a pot. So she did this for a period of 7 days. So on the 7th day, the man came back, because during that period, this lady, her body has she had become completely like a skeleton, because she has been taking away all this stuff in her body. So the 7th day, this man came looking for this lady who had promised enjoyment with him. So he came and he saw one skinny lady by the door and asked her that, I'm come to see this particular lady, this particular beautiful lady that she had promised me to come back in 7 days, so I'm back. So this lady said, I'm the one that you have seen 7 days. She said, I'm the one. And the man said, what do you mean you are the one? You are not the one I saw 7 days ago. I saw a very, very, very beautiful, attractive lady. She said, no, I'm the one. And she said, come, let me show you. And then she opened all the pots, which she has been keeping all these things. Of course, they all coming with all the foul smell and all that. So she opened all the pots, and she said, look, this is the beauty which you saw 7 days ago. These are those beauty. These are all these pots. So, if you like to enjoy this beauty. So in this way, the man was made to realize the naked, the what do you call it, the tough expense of materialistic energy. That what is our attraction anyway? This so-called body, which is nothing but a combination of blood, pus, mucus, all this bile, all this nasty stuff. But when this form is put together, we became so attracted to it. This is how the Maya, captures the living entity. Because Maya, she made what is unreal to make it real, you see? What is unreal to make it real for us. So the living entities are captured by Maya that way. So until the living entity become attracted to Krishna, this attraction to material energy will not stop. We have the case of Bhagavad-Gita Thakur. Bhagavad-Gita Thakur, he was a Brahmana. He was a Brahmana. He was, very good upbringing and all that. Even had a wife and all that. He was a very dutiful Brahman. But somehow he became attracted to a prostitute, Chintamani. So he became attracted to her, and then he actually left his wife, and then he started living with he started going every day to this prostitute. Every day we go to every day to have a relationship with her every day. So one time it was raining heavily. It's a rainy season. It was raining. Heavy rain was there, so much so that too much big storm. The storm that was even difficult for anyone to even go out. But Bhivamanga was so determined to go and be with this lady. He was so determined. So he set out. He left. He went out to go and meet with her. And as he was going, he had to cross a river. So he was looking for what to use to cross the river. Somehow there was a dead body, but he thought that it was a boat. So he used the dead body to cross the river. And he was going, and then he reaches her house, and she had a fence around her house. So he had to climb the fence. So to climb the fence, he thought he was using a rope to climb the fence, but actually it was a deadly snake. Somehow he climbed the fence with a deadly snake. He was so determined to be her, to see her. And when he finally came face to face with her, the woman was so surprised. He said, "Oh, what are you doing? This is so surprising." She was even shocked that anyone would take so much trouble in such weather to come and be, with a woman. So she told him that, "Oh, Bhivamanga, if you are using the same effort which you have taken to come and see me, if you have applied the same effort in realizing God, in understanding God, your life will be perfect by now." He said, "Your life will be perfect by now if you have utilized the same effort." Somehow, Bhivamanga heard this, so all of a sudden it dawned on him. He said, "Oh, you are right. If I've used the same effort, which I'm trying to enjoy myself, trying to be with you, taking all this, all this austerity, trying to be with you, if I use the same effort in trying to understand God, I will attain perfection by now." So, because of his previous upbringing, so he came to his senses. And immediately, then he left. He set out for Vrindavan to come and search for Krishna. So he set out for Vrindavan to come and search for Krishna. And he was going, he was coming. Still, some loss is still there. He still have some wandering eyes. It's still there. So as he was coming, he came across a Brahmin couple. And they had, they host him in their house. They host him. So somehow he has some little bit of attraction to the wife of the Brahmana, and he has the Brahman that, "Can I have some time alone with your wife? I'd like to have some time alone." Because here in India, people are very simple. Especially the people, the Brahmanas, very simple. They like to give everything to a host, especially if the host happen to be a sadhu. So the Brahmana agrees, "Okay, you can have some time alone with my wife." So while being alone with the wife, so the Bhivamanga asked the lady that, "Can you?" So the lady asked that, "How can I serve you? What can I do for you?" So Brahmanga said, okay, please give me your hairpins. Because every lady didn't normally have their hairpins. He said, please give me your hairpins. Of course, the lady, she didn't know what he wanted to do with the hairpin. So she gave it to him. And then he took the hairpin and plucked out his eye. Used that and spark his eye. So he became blind. He said, now I'm free now, because this eye is what has been giving me all this trouble. So now I'm now free now. I can now go and search for Krishna. So Bhimanga, he came to Vrindavan as a blind man. And because when he come to Vrindavan, he was calling out to Krishna, Hey Deva, hey Krishna, hey Deva, hey Karuna Kasindu, hey Krishna, hey Chapala, Bhuvanaka Bandhu. Then he was singing so many beautiful prayers. So he was calling out to Krishna, calling out to Krishna Vrindavan. And as he was coming to Vrindavan, even Krishna himself actually took him, because he was a blind man. But he was a blind materially, but spiritually, he was completely enlivened spiritually. He was blind materially, but spiritually not blind. So Krishna himself came and took him and was taken him to Vrindavan. Like this, these beautiful prayers, the song of Bhimanga Thakur, which was written, Krishna Kanamrita. So Krishna Kanamrita was sung by Bhimanga Thakur, which he had composed. By which one, this song is so beautiful that even Krishna himself became attracted to hearing that song. So therefore, the song is called as Sri Krishna Kanamrita, because it's something that is very pleasing to Krishna's ears. So in this way, the bond of attachment was cut off, and then developed so much attraction to Krishna. He became a great lover of Krishna, because the effort to try to enjoy material world, especially in the form of a woman, the effort is so much, but the effort that we use to try to understand God is actually much little effort to try to understand God and to develop our loving attachment to Him. But somehow, due to unfortunate situation, instead of properly utilizing the human form of life, we rather use that to try to enjoy material energy. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada, mentioned here that is talking about to waste the human form of life. He said that considering that the king was wasting his rarely achieved human form of life. The human form of life is very rarely attained. Dulaba Manasa Jaman. Dulaba Manasa, because after all, it said Jalaja Navalakshanam. The living things have to come from 8.4 million space of life, from aquatics to plant, from plant to reptile, from reptiles to animals, to bird, from bird to animals, and then from animals to human form. And human form is another 400,000 species of life. So to attain the human form of life is very, very difficult to attain. And the specific purpose that we attain this human form of life, the specific purpose is to understand where we come from, what is our origin, and how we can connect back to the Supreme Lord. So therefore, Srila Bhakti Thakur, he composed a very beautiful prayers in this regard. So he sang this way, that Dulaba Manava Jama Lobyo Samsari Krishna na Bhajano Duka Koilo Kahari Samsara Kore Miche Gelokai Labana Koilo Kichu Gatilo Janjel. He said, this human form of life is the rarest opportunity, very rare opportunity for attaining spiritual perfection. But now I am lamenting because I've somehow or other been born with such an opportunity and I wasted it by never worshiping Lord Krishna. Oh, to whom shall I tell the tale of this misery? Having married and entered into the entanglements of materialistic family life, I passed my time in vain. I never got any tangible gain or permanent benefit, only trouble and botheration. What kind of word is this anyway? It seems to be just like a magic lantern show that I saw at a carnival, wherein so many shadows and optical illusions dance magically before my eyes. I feel great attachment and identification with such a word, and thus day after day pass by fruitlessly without any purpose whatsoever. There is one story which was this was narrated by Srila Bhakti-yoga. So one time there was a mela, there was a fair in a village, and this mela, in the middle of the mela there is like a big pavilion that was there, and this pavilion, it was advertised that there is a special show inside the pavilion. There's a special show inside, and everyone's supposed to go inside, but they can only go inside only one at a time. Only one person can go inside. There are two parts. One go inside, another one come out. So this was set up that way. So and the people start lining up to go inside. So the first person went inside. He went inside, and when he reaches inside, he saw a very big, big guy, huge guy, like a big wrestler guy. So this person, he grabbed this person who was coming and give him a very nice slap. He slapped him nicely, give him some good beating, and then send him out. On the next, he said, "Okay, you go out." So he sent him out, and then when he sent him out, so the next person was supposed to come in. So the next person asking that, how was the show? So this fellow said, "Oh, it was very wonderful." He said it was a nice show, because I didn't want to tell him that I just got some good beating. So he said it was a very nice show. So the person went inside. So that person went inside, and they met the same fate. And he also came out. The next person will ask him that, how was the show? The show will tell, "Oh, it was a wonderful show." So in this way, this is how materialistic world cheated us. This is how we are being cheated in material world. We think, "Oh, it's so wonderful because this person is enjoying nicely. So therefore, let me also try to get the same thing." As they say, chewing the chew. That's how we try to get happiness. Like somebody asks us that, "Okay, how are you? How are you?" We say, "Oh, I am fine. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm fine." That's how we say. You meet anyone in the morning, "How are you?" "I am fine." Now, if you ask the person, "How are you?" "Fine." What's your fine? Even though we have so much been troubled by Maya, especially Maya Devi, she has this tapataya, the threefold miseries, which she used to actually, to actually punish us constantly. But we think that, "Oh, this is so wonderful," even though we are constantly being punished by the threefold material misery. But we always think that, "Oh, this is fine. I'm okay. This is good." So, and this is possible because of the illusion, because the living entity's intelligence is being covered over, so they cannot really see their own despicable situation in the material world. So therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, when this body drops dead on the ground, then what will remain mine? At that moment, all of my sons and dearest loved ones will not be able to give me any happiness. I work hard just like an ass every day, and now I am wondering for whom am I working so hard? I am still surrounded by so many illusions. I waste every day in useless, insignificant work, and I waste every night controlled by sleep. And in every 24 hours, I never for 1 second consider that cruel death is sitting very close by my side. I live a very carefree lifestyle, sometimes eating a lot or eating a little if I feel like it. Sometimes I see nice things around the town, or sometimes I do not go out at all. Sometimes I wear opulent clothing, or if I'm in the mood, I wear something simple. I live so carefree that I never consider that one day I will have to give up this body. I have to give it up. My poor heart is plagued by constant anxieties about the maintenance and daily turmoil created by my body, my house, my wife, my family members, and my social obligations. All these anxieties are pinching me and destroying all my intelligence. Alas, alas, what a remorseful situation has arisen. I am absorbed in all this trouble, but I never consider that all these things are temporary and subject to perish very soon. After I'm dead and gone, where will all of my material opulences remain? When my body will be thrown in the pit at the cremation grounds, it will simply be there motionlessly. Then many crows, vultures, ants, and worms will come and playfully sport there. All the stray dogs and jackals will then become very much delighted, and in great ecstasy, they will make a festival ground out of my body and will have a huge celebration and feast. This is the condition of everyone in this material world. Just see, this is the ultimate destination of this material body. And the most amazing thing is that all of my material opulences, house, family, and friends have exactly the same destination. Therefore, I ask of anyone who has any sharp intelligence, please give up all of these temporary illusions presented by Maya and kindly search after the means to get pure devotion to Lord Krishna, for this is the only really tangible eternal truth. Just like here North India, when somebody die, they taking the person on the street, going to the cremation ground, they say they start chanting Ram Nam Sattahir. This is what they say. That's the only time everybody remember God. Ram Nam Sattahir, Ram Nam Sattahir. That's what they do. When somebody's been taken to cremation ground. But once the person is been burned and people come back, after 1 or 2 days they forget. Everybody come back to their own way of life. This is how the Maya steal everyone's intelligence. Whereas the jivas, the living entities, who are fortunate enough to Krishna consciousness, they know that this life is just flickering. The only thing that is worth pursuing is our eternal relationship with God, with Krishna. And once we're situated in that, then we can actually get real happiness. This is always the instruction of the Acharya. So Srila Bhakti Thakur, he said that let's search out for pure devotion to Lord Krishna, for this is the only real tangible eternal truth. Actually, as we are studying the life of Pururav, even though he was, he made so much, even because of his attachment, even had to go to the planet where Urvashi was. But after some time, he actually came to his senses. he came to his senses and realized the big illusion which he had been in. So there's a point in our devotional life whereby we actually begin to regret all our what we have been doing in this material world. There's a period of regret. It's called akshepa. And when we come to regret, this is when we start realizing that actually the only worth thing for us to do is to develop attachment to Krishna. We become attached to Krishna, then all other temporary attachment will go away. So I'm going to stop here, because this is it's been a nice narration about Prurav. Now he's getting a good instruction from overseas. So any comments? Although
we're repeatedly hearing that we're not the body, and all this effort to try to make the body comfortable and happy is a waste of time. And we hear in scripture about the punishments for not following religious principles, but it seems as though majority of society, like 99.9%, either that they don't believe in God or they don't believe it's true, the punishments involved. And although we hear good counsel and good understanding, still we give into the mind and senses. How are we going to get past this?
Yeah, this is, it's, as they say, it's Maya, because Maya captures our intelligence so much that we are unable to see, even though we had all the wonderful instructions, still we don't come to our senses. That's why sometimes the Lord had to teach us a very tough lesson. Like yesterday, I was reading Srila Prabhupada's, he had composed this bhajan, called the Vrindavan bhajan. Srila Prabhupada was composing this song. And there, this is what before he came to America, before he started the ISKCON society. So Srila Prabhupada was saying that now now I'm here, and the Sri Krishna has shown me the naked truth of material energy. Naked truth of material energy. So that now, he said, I have my family, my friends, everything. They've all abandoned me. I'm completely penniless. Now what is there now? So therefore, he said that I simply laugh at it. So which means when Krishna himself becomes merciful to his devotees, then he put them in a situation whereby they will have no other recourse than to simply surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna. Only when the Lord himself becomes merciful to his devotees. That until that time comes, instruction comes, it goes away. It's okay, maybe it's sometime, maybe you know better, maybe you can explain better,
Trying to figure it out, It's over the suffering place.
So we should, hopefully that period comes when we get, deep smash. But, the Lord will smash us, then come to our senses,
As we have crossed 84 million life and we got a Manusjanam. So you say Durlabh Manusjanam. So how can we understand this Manusjanam is Durlabh?
How can we understand that the human form of life is rare? Because it's only in the human form of life can we understand God. It's not possible in any other form. Even demigods' body still cannot, Christian consciousness is difficult for them. Because demigods, they are busy enjoying themselves. They don't understand there's no material misery for demigods. So therefore to them, even becoming Christian conscious is difficult for them. But in the human form, it's possible. Because we can understand that the material world is miserable. And we can understand that there's a higher purpose. There's a way to get out of the material world. So in other form of life, other form is not possible. Only human form of life is possible to understand God. This we have read in all the scriptures again and again. You see? Hare Krishna. Any other, somebody want to ask a question? Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhu, you've explained very nicely, I guess, already how one should be smashed enough to come to the senses about material enjoyment, but how can we avoid getting to Bilvamangal's status where you are so Mataji, can you give me your hairpins?
That's tough. That's a tough one. Yeah, you know. It's somebody who was very, very serious about spiritual idea. Very, very serious. Okay, I don't want this material world anymore. I don't want it anymore. And they know the cause of their attachment. They know the cause of their trouble, the problem. So they want to just get rid of it. So that drastic action was taken by Bhagavad Thakur. But it's very, very rare, you know. It's not that we don't say that you should go and do the same. We can't imitate. It's something that should come naturally. It has to come naturally. You know, nobody can be like Bhagavad Thakur. It's not possible. And Bhagavad Thakur, Krishna himself took him to Vrindavan. So that's a very, very exalted position, you know. But we have to, again, the best way is to be in the association of devotees, Sadhu Sangha, you know, have a positive association. We hear Krishna Katha, and we try to serve, no offenses, no fault finding. So ultimately, you know, good fortune will come upon us. We will receive good fortune, you know. So, you know, we just follow that path which has been given to us by our Acharya Srila Prabhupada, giving us the method to be, you know, how we can be Krishna conscious. We just follow it. And at the same time, we have to pray to Krishna, please free me from Maya. That we not captured by material energy, we have to pray constantly. So prayer is very, very important. So when the song of Acharya Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, is full of so many, many wonderful prayers. We should make effort to sing those prayers, and those prayers will help us. We should make effort. Prabhu?
The simplest answer is Vairagya-vidya. That's the answer. Knowledge and detachment.
Yeah, Vairagya-vidya. Exactly. Hey, somebody want to, because any time is going. At the back? Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Thank you for your nice class, Prabhuji. I was just also thinking of this, I think Prabhu asked a question relating to the pin, that Vivamangal took a pin to pierce his eye. So, would you like to throw some light on, if you may, that what do we as ISKCON devotees, as men and women, what can we learn from that? Because he was attracted to another man's wife, and he just wanted to, you know, how do you say, I don't know, nip it in the bud and just poke his eye, so he thinks of nobody but Krishna. So, yeah.
So as I said earlier, that Bhagavad Thakur, before he became attracted to a prostitute, he was a Brahmana himself. He was a Brahmana, and he was situated in the spiritual practice. But somehow, due to some inattention, he became attracted to a prostitute, and that's how he lost his senses. And of course, this prostitute gave him enlightenment that, if you have attached to Krishna instead of being attached to me, your life will be perfect by now. You know. So in this way, so his previous spiritual practice again came back to him. And then he decided to immediately give up the attachment to the prostitute. Then he was going to Vrindavan. But still, that thing kept coming back to him. That thing kept coming back. So, after all, in the material world, Maya is, we cannot really conquer, we can't defeat Maya. Because Maya is Krishna's energy. And Maya's duty is to keep us here in the material world. And Maya, even though we are involved in Krishna consciousness, Still, unless we are becoming very, very serious, Maya will keep testing us. And she'll give us all kind of tests. And these tests may be in the form of attraction to other sex or to position, many, many things. Sometimes you get a big position, you will be worshipped. Many, many things like that the Maya will give us. So that test will continue, and until we really determine to really, okay, let's just give up all these things. So, like Bhagavad Thakur, he knows the reason for his attachment. So he wants to cut out the attachment. So the only way is to remove this eye. He said, my problem is my eye. So in order to get rid of that problem, so he removed the eye by himself. And then he immediately became attached to Krishna. And Krishna took him, he was going to Vrindavan, and Krishna brought himself to Vrindavan. There are so many, many wonderful pastimes that Vivamanga actually had, with Krishna here in Vrindavan, very nice pastime. We should read this book called Krishna Kanamrita, which Chaitanya Prabhu discovered when he was in South India. And this book was one of the book that Mahaprabhu loved to hear from, this Krishna Kanamrita. So again, it depends on how seriousness we are, how determined we are in Krishna consciousness. As they say, God help those who help themselves. So we have to help ourselves, because Krishna consciousness is not going to come to us just like that. We have to really, struggle for it. We have to strive for it. We have to be determined for it. And if you are very determined, then we also pray for the message of Guru and Krishna. Then we can attain success. It's there. Okay, I think our time is gone. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grant Rasma Bhagavatam ki. Hare Krishna.